First, we have Marfo from Unique Abilities. So, Nana, first of all, tell us a little bit about your charity and what you do.
Unique Abilities is basically a charity that enables people with a voice, people with disabilities. So it gives people who for so long haven't been able to speak up a chance to be able to elevate their voice within community.
That's brilliant. So how did you manage to get into that position to help people?
It was through personal experience, going through stuff myself as a disabled person. I've personally got tracheotomy, which is a tube that enables me to breathe and speak at the same time. I noticed that within the employment sector, people with disabilities were not being treated fairly. I can only talk about myself, and I just thought, is there a platform where people can speak out about employment? Is there a platform where people can speak out about what they're going through? Not really. So I decided to set it up and involve people with different disabilities to speak up about their experiences within employment.
I think it's amazing that you're giving people a voice, and I think I've been reading about you. You spoke at a charity event that we were at together, and I was really blown away by your journey. You came from a place where you felt marginalised and that you never had a voice, and you actually managed to get yourself into a position where you're making a difference. And you were nominated for an award for that, weren't you?
Yeah, National Diversity, Pride of Britain. This goes on.
You have to give a round of applause, and a thank you as well, because you're having impact and you're changing people's lives.
You know, when people say thank you, I'm thinking it's something that we should do as a norm. It's a problem, rectify it. If you're going to complain about it and not do nothing about it, don't complain about it at all. I just feel in the workplace, even for a person with a disability to get a job, it's getting blood out of stone. I don't know if it's purely because employers are skeptical, lack of disability awareness. I don't know what it is, but I want to be that phone who opens that door that people with disability are capable, and we are able. All we ask is for empathy, understanding, and support.
Yeah, and it's like you said, you are able. Everyone's got different strengths. And people shouldn't be marginalised or pushed to the side. Obviously, I think sometimes able-bodied people have an assumption about other people's life experiences, and it's not really for us to judge. We should be more open and listen.
I wouldn't even say people. It's the way the social model was created. It was created to bring people together to understand. But in today's world, you haven't got that unity. People think you're trying to scam the system, you don't want to work, you're playing on your disability, and when you look at the benefits sector, a lot of people are being cut off from even claiming support.
Yes.
So it's
like a blanket field.
It's a blanket field.
That whole people are cheating the system, and those people who are cheating affect the people who aren't actually cheating the system, who actually need those services. So can you tell me a bit about your journey, because you're a strong, powerful woman. I mean, growing up, what was your experience? What was your life like?
Growing up, I didn't know no different. I wouldn't say I knew I was disabled.
Well, that's
the word disability wasn't really something I put into myself. It's until I got to about 6 or 7. Every winter I was being taken indoors. My friends were able to play in the cold, I weren't. It's a bit strange. one day I decided to kick the teacher. They called my mum in and they had to explain, okay, this is the reason why they're taking me indoors.
Okay.
Because my mum hadn't explained it. She told them they needed to do it.
Yeah.
But as the individual, I was cut out of that conversation. Because African woman, African background, back then, yeah, they don't involve the child.
Yeah.
It's between mother, authorities, we're helping your child.
Yeah, it's something being done to you almost.
Yeah.
You haven't got that awareness of why am I being separated?
Yeah. So, speeding up to secondary school, or was I say primary school, local authorities deemed me as someone with special needs, which I hated that word. I still hate it. Because I don't see myself as special. What's special about me? The only thing that's different is I talk differently, I breathe differently, my IQ is just as anybody else.
Yeah.
I can communicate just as everybody else. Why am I called special? Anyway, I was out of school for 4 years because they couldn't decide whether I could work alongside my peers in a mainstream school or if I needed to be in a special school where I wasn't getting the education I needed, and it was like I was going to a nursery crèche.
This is a lot of the time what happens with alternative provisions, special needs school. You're not getting the same access to the curriculum.
No.
They make assumptions about the level of IQ of the people who are there. You're not going to be able to read or write, and then you're almost bracketed. And just because there is something about you that is different, it doesn't. People shouldn't assume that mentally.
It's one blanket rule. As soon as you've got, it's like you cut your finger. It's like.
Would you say it's still like that in schools now?
Oh yeah.
In terms of, because there's not that many, obviously I work in education, and there's not that many special needs schools, or if they are, they're very one size fits all. Sometimes we get students referred to my schools that have disabilities, and they're like, well, why are you sending them here? This is the school for behaviour. Yes, they do have certain behaviour issues, but we're not really able to provide for their needs.
Nothing's really changed because 2 years ago I had a mother contact me from Yorkshire. Her son's got a similar condition to me. Obviously different reasons why he's got tracheotomy, but going through the same thing my mum went through with me.
How many years?
And we're talking 30 years on. It's still, when it comes to disability in general, we're on a back foot. When I went on holiday, I went to Miami. And when you look at the way they treat, even though the terminology they use for people with disabilities is not right, they are more, I would say they're more inclusive.
Okay.
Because you walk into shops, you've got people with disability working everywhere. Over here it's like you're trying to force the employer.
Okay.
And the employer will find some way to say no, or they'll take the person on and say that the person's incompetent.
Yeah.
So you're always fighting.
So is that what your charity does? That's what you do in your community?
My charity is basically going into schools, educating the young. Because I think once you've got the young, the old will
slowly fade away. So I go into schools. I work on behalf of Scope. Okay.
So Scope employed me to be a role model.
Fantastic.
So I go into schools and talk to students, and they're very switched on. They're so switched on. Talking about disability, talking about discrimination, talking about employment.
Okay.
Where I come in is to just give that extra confidence. Like, there's rules, there's legislations. People with disability don't rely on the system. I'm not saying don't tap into the system, but be self-aware of your own knowledge. There's legal stuff out there that protect us. And what's sad is, when I used to work in the corporate world, a lot of people relied on the union reps. And half the time, the union reps didn't give a damn. They were doing it because it's a way for them to leave the day job. They didn't care about you as an individual.
Yeah, you get that.
We've helped you. Thanks for your subs. We've helped you. Go on.
You said you were working in the corporate world. So in terms of your journey through school, so you went through school and onto university.
Didn't get no support in uni.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I'm trying to track your experience. So school was a certain way, then you got onto university and it's the same kind of thing into work.
Yeah.
And nothing really changes.
No. I think in the early millennium, to mention the word reasonable adjustments was a myth. To mention the word I need support is like, what are you talking about? What kind of support? Because my first job was McDonald's.
Okay.
Fun times.
I've heard that it's very fun to work there. You get a good team spirit going on there.
No comment.
I mean, I don't think they were even aware of reasonable adjustments.
So what do you mean by reasonable adjustment? Explain. So
when I say reasonable adjustments, I mean making someone comfortable in the workplace. So if I've got complex needs, what can you do to enable that? I'm on par with my colleague who hasn't got a disability.
Yes, okay.
So it's simplifying my work environment.
Yes, so you're providing the same opportunities for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone's not got the same needs, but if I need something to be able to work on that same even keel, my employer is supposed to provide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what employers need to understand that reasonable adjustments is not just there's a chair, there's a laptop, or there's a widescreen. There's also the human support. A lot of employers are miffed when I speak to them in my day job and I say, I can bring an extra support for this person with a learning disability. They're like, oh, what do you mean? We can get them software, we can get them a chair. No.
It's that person.
It's that person. Sometimes that person with a learning disability doesn't quite get the job. They're excited they're in a job, but can they handle the job? So it's that human support that is also very important.
And that's probably where a lot of people probably fall short in doing that, because even like in everyday needs, that personal contact is often missing, but sometimes you need someone to decipher. Like I worked for a year doing a maternity cover in a school for deaf children, and how they decipher the world is completely different to how we would. But it's a level of understanding that and helping them to navigate. So we do trips out to the shops and communicating and helping them to, function within society. But for the employer should be able to take that on board and ensure that it's an inclusive environment for people. But that must be where you face a lot of problems though, because how do you ensure that? But everyone's an individual.
Everyone's an individual,
so
and
it's not blanket, and I think that's probably part of the problem. Disability law. Okay, if you're disabled, you get this, this, and this. Well, my disability might be my back. Yours is your voice. So
and how you've got spectrums.
So how do we move forward really to make sure
they need to do it case by case because everybody's disability is different. You could see me, one of my friends I grew up with who's got a trachea. We didn't get it for the same reasons. There's different reasons why people have a trachea, and I don't think the government or wider society have got to grips with what disability is. And I think some people forget you're going to get old, your body's going to deteriorate, you are going to have a disability. How do you want to be treated? That's...
It's funny, you say that I had a slip disc. It's grown up to like 2.5 years ago now. I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't get up, and it was it's only then that you realise the freedom of movement. Just being able to take for granted the little things of, do you know what, I need to go to the toilet. And it was literally one leg at a time, like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. These are the little things. And you don't realise until it's gone. And it's like, I was watching one of your clips, and that's what you were saying. We're all going to be disabled at some stage in life. Also, even like, for example, I wear glasses. Like today, I wear contact lenses. Today I put them in, like, I don't know if I put them in the wrong eyes or whatever it is, and I can't actually see. It impedes you. But you'd expect people to want to understand that, and I think that's what we've got to try and fly the flag for, really. And everyone's got individual needs. How did you, like, what was the catalyst for you to one day wake up and say, you know what, I've lived this life. I know people need to hear that they have a voice.
For me, it was, I'd had enough. I'd got to a point in my life where I was like, I can't let another boy or girl go through what I went through. And especially when you have a mum who doesn't see barrier. And
she's brought you up with that. Listen, you're the same. You can get up, you can do. Nothing ain't gonna stop you from doing what you're doing.
So when you've got a mum like that, you can't really.
You've always had the fire.
Backtrack.
The fire was always there.
You know. I had opposites. I had my dad who was like, just be quiet, just get on with life. My mom, she was like, what? What do you mean get on? You're capable. Don't think because they've not got a tube, they're better than you. I don't think because they're lighter than you, they're better than you.
Wow,
you
right there.
need to push yourself. Because the minute you decide to slack is the minute the world will pity you, and then you pity yourself, and then it's like what you really can infuse into the world won't happen because you're going to think the world owes you something, and it's like you feel sorry for yourself. So for me, it's not the same path. It's more of a activism kind of route. And as a teenager, I related to Tupac a lot.
Really? So how did he
I wasn't expecting that one. I was like, whoa.
Good inspirational characters, but why was he inspiring to you?
Because he looked at a problem and he made you see this is the problem we have. Rather than we just mope about it and think it's somebody else's reasoning or it's somebody else who needs to take it on board, we need to do it ourselves. From when we do it, we can somewhat create a positive impact, you know.
Which you have.
And it's just like, there's a book that he wrote, The Rose That Grew from a Concrete. So, I think I'm that rose that grew from a concrete. 6 months premature.
Oh, wow.
Death's door 3 times.
Wow.
Was in ICU 4 times.
Wow.
And then to live to the age I'm today, it's a miracle.
Wow.
It's a miracle. I was reading part of your bio, which is it's quite a painful thing, but it empowered you as well. But when you heard about your dad's wishes, explain a little bit about that.
So, I would say when it came to me being born as a male figure, an African at that, disability is not something that is understood in the African community. It's understood to a degree, but not to the point of, it's my child, I don't care what the world thinks. It's more of, I've got a disabled child, I'm not going to be seen as a man. Okay. That's my personal view.
The flaws. Why did this happen?
Is it my fault? You know, how are my peers, how is my family going to see me? So I guess in his view, being born so tiny, being born with limbs that were partly not developed, he thought I was going to suffer. So his ideology behind it is, if he's going to suffer, why don't we just
let
him go?
Yeah.
And
look what the world would have missed. This is the reality of it.
Yeah.
So.
And my mum was like, hell no.
It's my baby.
Ain't happening. You know, but that's spurred me on to make others see that being born premature, it doesn't mean you won't exist. You just have to fight for your voice to be heard a little bit louder, but you will be heard, and it depends on you as a person. Never think the system owes you. When I used to work in a benefit organization and people used to come in, what used to annoy me is they used to think the world owed them. Now, your disability is part of you. You need to make sure you live alongside it and let people see you before your disability. The moment you let people see your disability before you, you're losing battle. Because everyone will recognize you for your disability. Don't get me wrong, people look at me and think, oh, you're struggling to talk, I didn't care. Or when I was in Ghana, lived in Ghana for 5 years, happy times. People be like, oh, you're breathing heavily, just go and sit down and rest. You know, why are you overexerting yourself? You're a sickler, as they call it back home.
Okay.
And that didn't deter me. Even at that age, I used to look at them and think, I'm going to show you, I'm going to score that goal. I'm going to keep playing. And if my body overexerts, then I'll stop.
Yeah, then I'll sit down and it's fine. It's that positive belief, go on.
I think what you've highlighted here is because you was...
So, if you've got any acknowledgements or thank yous that you would like to send out there?
Thanks my mum for having me.
Oh.
And
keeping me,
being patient and keeping me. And everyone else who's in the background supporting what I do. Just before we disappear, I've got something called Disability Proud.
Okay.
That I'm in partnership with another company called Talk Disability.
Okay.
So it's an event to celebrate people with disability. Similar methods to what Gay Pride do. Celebration.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's called Disability Proud. It's going to be in Croydon on the 20th of June 2020. And it's celebrating people with all forms of disability, hearing, physical. I'm bad with big words. But yeah, it's a celebration for all, and it'll be good to see everybody
turn out for you.